Hi, this is Naturalie, and I am on my way to the House of Lords to perform at the Baton Awards. Very last minute, but an absolute total honour, and I'm really excited to go and share with all the BAME, as they call it, but the black women who've been striving and setting the trend, and I'm going to pass on the baton to the next generation. So watch out, watch his space. It's funny, you watch it on the news every day, and I drive past it all the time. But all of my 40 years living in London, I've never been to Houses of Parliament or really to see Big Ben, so it's a first for me. Oh my God. Baton ladies, so really a bit nervous actually. Such a pleasure to be invited, been recognised. It's touching. So excited. I wanna rock with you.
This evening.
Hello everybody, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
Good. Hopefully you've enjoyed the drinks and the drinks reception.
You've all been a little bit patient with us, but you know, our people, we function on sunshine, not just on time, okay? But we must get on with the evening because it's a packed event. We have so many awards to give out. There were so many nominations. I'm really excited to share the information with you, to get the ladies come up here, the women who have won these fantastic awards. But I think it's only right that we get some very important, slightly more important than I perhaps, to come up and kick the evening's events off. Can you please give a warm welcome to Lord Hastings of Scarisbrick, CBE.
Thank you and welcome to Parliament. You probably thought that there was an election going on. And I want to tell you what the result is. The public couldn't agree on the need for MPs, so the House of Lords took over. Anyway, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And if you are a man here, and some of you may be between a woman and a man, that's up to you, modern days, but if you are a man here this evening, you are here under suffrage. You are not going to receive anything until stressful. She awaits the call up of an award, and you are definitely going to have to keep silent. It's not for you tonight. I know that's a rare event for black men. It's not for you. It's actually for the wives, partners, the women around you. It's for them. Wow, that's a turn up for the books. And today, you won't realise it because most of these events would take place on International Women's Day, which is March the 8th. And if you might have noticed, it's not March and it's not the 8th. But we're here this evening because today, exactly 100 years ago today, the first woman MP was elected. And Nancy Astor's granddaughter this morning on television unveiled the special train which went all the way down to Plymouth, which is where Nancy Astor's seat was, and the great Theresa May, a woman Prime Minister, went to Plymouth this morning to unveil the Nancy Astor statue. We're really here to recognise fantastic women who have done very sacrificial, genuine and significant acts of public service and individual commitment. That's the purpose of this evening's event, and each award that is given out is to honour individuals for their contribution way beyond the norm. So if you don't receive an award tonight, look at those who do, and say, next year I'm going to step up my pace. I'm going to speed up my commitment. I'm going to increase my generosity. I'm going to engage with the future. I wish you all great luck once you get your awards and go away, but thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
And then we have Dr. Moon Abdi. Now,
A Twitter profile that attracted a huge following of educators and tech professionals. Welcome, Mark.
So I just got a text from Diane a couple of days ago to be at this award. I was in Birmingham. I was in where was I? I was in Brighton at the seaside doing an education event. And one of the things is that when anyone told me about education, I've got to be there because education is the key. And as an educator, it's my honour to give keys to young people. And to all the women in the room, and all the young women in the room, you can do anything you want. Because working in education for the last 15 years, just as the winner said before, there's so much stories, and this award kind of gives out that story, transcends it beyond the room. So definitely make sure that message gets out. Because one thing I do know, that talent is everywhere, but the access and opportunities are not. And this award gives that recognition for that. So and the winner is Kristalina.
My school the other day actually. So Juliet, I think the lady that just spoke, I feel like you spoke for me. I can't see where you are. 20 years. I've been doing this 25 years. 25 years. The last 2 as a head teacher. And what I would say is this: is that for a very long time, as a black woman in education, I thought I couldn't do it. I watched other people, and people told me, Kristalina, you can do it, you can do it. You know, I'm surrounded by teachers here that, you know, Sandra, Andrea, all the people that I have been inspired by, Tracy, to be honest. But I really thought I couldn't do it. I can.
Yes.
You have. You do. And if I can, all my children that I've been teaching for 25 years, they can do it too.
Yes.
And what I had to realise is that and sometimes I don't want to do it. It's really hard. But just by standing up here, just by them seeing me, without even hearing me, they know they can do it. So when they do hear me, I'm starting to walk in my own power.
Yes.
And so thank you very much for this award. I'm going to keep doing it, even though I'm tired. And just something that I do want to say though, for those of you that have any impact, use your platform. We have to stop excluding our children.
Yes. No more managed moves.
I can't go to any more funerals. I refuse. I had a student throw a chair at me the other day. I did not permanently exclude her because I have a choice, and we all have choice.
go for it.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Sorry, I'm a little bit sweaty from rushing around. I just come from a trustee event at a charity that I'm part of. I just want to echo the words that Kristalina said. Actually, she is my mentor. I also worked at the Crest Academy, and that came about because I was doing some supply teaching, and Kristalina saw me walking across the playground and sort of noticed that I had a talent and ability, and she almost passed the baton on. She made me realise that it was possible, and she's taken me under her wing, and I want to say thank you, Kristalina.
Yes.
And I know she hasn't said this, but if anyone gets a chance to visit the Crest Academy, I'm giving you the invite to go down and see the great work that Kristalina does there. As she said before, she does not exclude. And for young people who sometimes don't have a safe space that they can actually visit, and they know when they go to school there's someone who not just understands them, but actually invested their time and resources to make sure that they can be the best version of themselves, whatever that is, whether that's academic, whether that's creative. She always pushes not only her young people but her staff to be great. So I want to dedicate this award to Kristalina.
Yay!
Be in my baton, and I hope I can continue that with the young people that I
Thank you.
everyone really deserve to be winners here tonight. And as a third sector organization, we know how difficult it is to survive in this environment. So we'd like to congratulate all of the nominees tonight. And the winner of the third sector award June Ross and
I'm actually shocked at the moment, so forgive me. I just want to say I'm really honoured to be in this position, and also I want to give credit to my two children that are here with me, Lavina and Daniel. They've been a pillar on this journey, so thank you all. Congratulations.
I just want to say, when you think about thought leaders, I thought, well, what actually does that mean? So I've got a very short quote. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So with that in mind, I'd like to announce the winner. I have to bear with me, I've got my glasses on. It's not vanity, she said. And I'd like to announce that Shuru Izadi.
I work with a lot of women and speak to a lot of women who think that when they have some success that they should make excuses for it and that they've got lucky and that they can't just own that they've worked really hard and feel like an imposter and someone's going to catch them out and all that stuff. And I've worked really hard to make it so that's not the case for me personally and professionally. And so, when I was younger, the worst insult you could get was she loves herself. She's so full of herself. And so in the spirit of being the change I want to see, I'd like to say thank you, I deserve this.
Well done! Woo! Go on, girl.
My dad died when I was 2 years old. 2 weeks later, my mum gave birth to my little brother. Oh, wow. My nanny Winnie, a woman from Cambridgeshire who lived an affluent life, married an RAF soldier. My grandfather, Cuban born, raised in Jamaica, and made sure that we had everything we needed. She was a dressmaker in Mayfair before we even knew what Mayfair was. So I stand on the back of those two women. They passed the baton on to me. I do what I do from my heart. I do it for everybody because I believe if I can help you get somewhere, then that's my job to do.
Women of the Year award are Dina Asher-Smith, who is a British sprinter. Dina, you're on. Yes. She is the fastest British woman in recorded history.
Wow.
She is the 2019 World Champion at the 200 metres. The 2016 and 2018 European Champion at 200 metres. And the 2018 European Champion at 100 metres.
Wow.
And then next up we have Francesca Brown. She was the former semi-professional footballer. Francesca Brown established Goals for Girls in 2013. The program provides free football sessions to over 400 girls from areas of higher profession in South East London, raising their aspirations through sport and education.
And finally, we have Aditi Chauhan. So Aditi is an Indian women's professional footballer who plays as the goalkeeper for the India Rush and the Indian national team. She has previously played for the English club West Ham United Ladies. Round of applause for our nominees. Presenting the award in this category is solicitor, author, founder of Women in Leadership publications. You've probably seen her a lot on the telly in recent times. I'm looking at a familiar face. I'm looking at a friend of mine, and it's not who I think it is. It is none other than she's a journalist, she's a leadership expert, she's a female empowerment specialist. Please welcome to the stage Michelle Moore. Woo!
Thank you very much. Just a few words just to say to Diane and the team. This is an amazing evening. And why it's so important is because women of colour are not acknowledged and not recognised, and our contributions are often diminished. So whenever we come together to celebrate and recognise and validate ourselves, it's really, really important. And I'm very honoured to be up here and to be a judge and a torchbearer. And it was a tough gig, I have to say, you know, really figuring out who was going to win this award. And the people that are up for the nominations, Dina, Francesca and Itu, are incredible women because they've used their platform, not just as performers in sport, not just as achieving miraculous things, but they've used their platform for social change, to make a contribution to something bigger than just sport, and often around gender equality and really promoting what it means to be a woman and a woman of colour positively in the world, using sport for something so important as promoting gender equality. So, I'm going to make the announcements. The Baton 2019 Award for Sportswoman goes to none other than, from people, Dina Asher-Smith. And this is Dina, but this is Donna Fraser, Olympian former captained her country, and she is accepting the award on behalf of Dina Asher-Smith. So congratulations.
Sorry to disappoint you, but as you can imagine, Dina's probably either got her feet up or training pretty hard to get more medals next year at the Olympics.
So we have given out this category as well. And the nominees that we have for this particular category are Juliet Colley Bremer. Julia is a senior deputy head teacher, author and independent children's publisher. She oversaw the Everybody Dreams campaign, working with young people in Tottenham.
The next nominee is Feluke Akinsole MBE. I'm loving how much support everyone is getting this evening. That's great. In 1999, Feluke built and launched Precious, the first digital magazine for women of colour in the UK. She launched the Precious Awards in 2007 to recognise successful PAME women.
And then the next nominee is Claudine Adeyemi. And lastly, Claudine, the founder of Career Ear and co-creator of Global Shapers, London Hub at World Economic Forum.
So it only makes sense that presenting the Lord Hastings Integrity Award is Baron Hastings of Scarisbrick CBE, the man himself.
Just a brief comment. I love the sense of what this award is about, because we are in a battle for truth in this election and for truth in our society. And integrity starts by telling the truth, and then it goes on to be about living the truth. So I'm thrilled that we can recognise a runner-up who isn't here but is actually in the Caribbean at the moment, and bless her for that joy as we enjoy the rain. And but importantly, the person who has won this award this evening, whose integrity I'm absolutely convinced is unquestionable, is Juliet Colley Bremer.
Everybody. Wow. I actually retired from teaching after 20 years 4 weeks ago.
Wow, wow, well done.
Due to ill health. I've had pneumonia, I've had a heart attack, I've had heart surgery, I've had cancer, I've had chemotherapy, but God is good. Absolutely amazing, and I've had a fantastic time teaching. It has been amazing. I want to thank, before I say anything else, my family, because they have picked me up when I felt down and helped me to pick other children, people's children up. My mum, who's over there, my auntie Lizzie, my sister Antoinette, and my son Romeo and Juliet. I just want to say that I dedicate this award to my grandmother. Her name is Violet Bailey. She was an unsung hero. She was actually a Pentecostal minister, and she never got any props for what she did. But she had this song that said, if I can help somebody as I walk along, then my living shall not be in vain. And I feel proud of being a teacher, and props to any teachers that are in here. She's doing an amazing job. One of the best roles that I had while I was teaching was creating an alumni wall. So we had a corridor in our school that was empty, and I decided to create a wall with ex-students that had done well. And to inspire the younger ones as they walk through that corridor to see what they could be. We had a motto that said, dream it, reach it, achieve it. And then when I was doing the research for the wall, there's now 60 children on this wall. We have Ricky, who's a cardiovascular surgeon. We have Yemi, who's a GP. We have Francian, she went to Cambridge and she ended up being a lawyer in the city. Emmanuel Frimpong, who played for Arsenal, I'm Spurs supporter, but he played for Arsenal. We have Jamal. Jamal was head boy and he ended up being top of the charts. You might know him as Chipmunk. We had,
oh, wow.
we have so many students. And one student that we had, his name was Nana. He didn't get a GCSE in English. He didn't get a GCSE in maths. He used to tap and hum all the time when he was in class, and he used to get kicked out quite often. And when I was doing this research, I saw an article about Nana. Nana had gone on to write the million selling single, Passion Fruit, for Drake.
Wow.
Now, when you see a kid tapping,
let them tap.
Don't put them down.
Yeah.
Encourage their creativity. People, if you can help somebody as you walk along, make your living not be in vain.
I'm totally honoured to be here to perform in front of all of you today. It's so inspirational to listen and watch and see what all my sisters are doing. So thank you very much for the work that you've been doing. I didn't know that I was going to be performing until very recently, so I quickly rustled something up for the Baton Awards, and I'm going to do a piece that I've got called Black Kids Battles. So I hope you enjoy it. So this is for the Baton Awards. Black women have had great influence on this world. We must celebrate our achievements, the achievements of black women and girls. Those who have set out a pathway, sisters living and gone. And the next generation, let's pass the baton. Black women have heart, a pulse that beats so strong, fighting for rights, conquering wrongs. A spirit that is able to transcend time, materializing dreams, totally sublime. Invincible, determined, she will fight worthy battles. She's a freedom fighter, the enslaved, she will unshackle. I don't think there's anything that the black queen can't handle. Enchanting, elevated, with an enlightened mind, thinking first for her family and then for her kind. Like Mary Seacole, who the War Office rejected. Would she stop? Was she dejected? She raised the money to get herself to Ukraine. She aided the Caribbean soldiers with their suffering and pain. Take Olive Morris, who stood up to fight. She campaigned in the UK for black civil rights. From London to Manchester, she formed women's groups. Her passion and determination deserves our salute. Black woman is forward thinking, not scared to break trends. Nothing will stop her, not her colour, not even men. Like pioneer politician Diane Abbott MP, the first black woman that was voted a seat in the House of Commons in 1987. We should raise a cheer to such a phenomenal woman. Or Marilyn Reed Brackman, who wrote Noughts and Crosses, best-selling author, now that's what a boss is. Writing stories that put questions to mind. She was named Child Laureate, the first of our kind. Dr. Thomas, first name Shirley, composed and conducted New Nation, the first century symphony, the first woman in Europe to do so for, what say, the last 40? It celebrated London's history and commemorated the Queen's Golden Jubilee. A woman of such influence cannot be missed. For 7 years, the Evening Standard named her on Britain's top most influential power list. Now that's just a couple, I've named just a few. But before I stop, I'd like to salute each one of you for your passion, your commitment, and the work that you do, and the women who follow that will be inspired by you. Each piece of the puzzle has its essential position. All pulling together, we can achieve any mission. If I had a hat, I would raise and tilt. I would raise and tilt if I had a hat on. But sisters, let's keep striving. Let's pass on the baton. Thank you. The next piece I'm going to do is called Black Queen's Battle. It's not related, but it was written after a discussion about black women in relationships. So this is called Black Queen's Battles. The most powerful piece in the chessboard is the Black Queen, with a crown of ether 9 and adorned with melanin. You have fought many battles, overcome many things, but one of your most ferocious battles is finding and keeping the king. There's an abundance of pawns, stallions, rooks, and assortment of knights. But to find the royal match, a black queen must fight. See, they've been told that the ideal queen is soft-haired and light, or better still, queen who is white. But what double standards, the shame and disgrace, should a black woman choose to date out of her race? Statistics record the black king is most sought, but the same surveys would suggest that black beauties are naught. A history of racism has created this norm, so some lighten their skins, soften their characters, sew in weaves, and generally conform to media images and ideals of the West that say thinner and lighter and quieter is best. Black woman is wild, black woman is loud, black woman is angry, black woman is proud, black woman is strong, black woman forgives and keeps going, even if her man is doing her wrong. Still suffering from the legacy of slavery's curse, black male promiscuity, which forced the black queen to live too independently. But now our kings say, you're too strong for me. But we still need love, support and security. The black queen has evolved. We stepped up our game. We're seeking out kings who are doing the same. Why is it such a struggle to settle or even to date? It's a sore subject that brings great debate. But the black queen is patient and willing to wait to find her true match. Checkmate. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
So it's really, really, really exciting that we have a young trailblazer here this evening. Her name is Kenya Abeng. She is 13 years old and a CEO. Yeah, you heard right. And she's the founder of Kenya's Diaries. Earlier this year, Kenya published her very own positivity journal that you're getting for your nieces and your nephews. And
Yes.
Yeah, and promoting positive thinking, mindfulness. You like that? Promoting kindness and self-care and gratitude. Please welcome Kenya to the stage.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Woo!
My name is Kenya. I'm 13 years old and I'm the founder and CEO of Kenya's Diaries. So I'm going to tell you my aims and why I created Kenya's Diaries. So my aim is to encourage people to take better care of their mental and emotional health by practicing 3 things: self-care, gratitude and kindness. But I also want to inspire people to adopt a positive or growth mindset. So a few years ago, I went through some troubles, suffering from low mood, depression and bullying. And a way I used to cope with this was self-harm. Over a long period of time, I finally plucked up the courage to go and tell someone and got more professional help. And so now I'm proud to say that I no longer feel like this and my story has a happy ending. own. And this is why I created the KD Positivity Journal to help encourage people to express their emotions and acknowledge how they feel. So I specifically designed my journal to not have a padlocking key, as I feel like this encourages people to hide away their feelings and keep it a secret. So the first few pages of the journal is about self-love, and the rest of it is a daily planner which we're encouraged to reflect on how you feel every day. So I support 5 charities, which are Mind, Young Minds, The MITS, Place to Be, and the Alexander Paul Foundation. I also want to encourage kid entrepreneurship, for young people to start businesses that they are passionate about and that they love. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope you have a great day.
People from working class backgrounds.
Okay, and here to present the award is Dr.
Okay, here we go. It's my turn or your turn? You're looking at me. Okay, so, well, I tried to introduce her earlier and she wasn't here. Maybe she was on the telly or something, because she seems to be there quite often these days. She's smiling, she's laughing. Dr. Shola, please come up to the stage. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. Hello. It's very telling that he didn't say my last name. What's that? Come on now. Come on now.
No, I must. A for effort.
Come on now.
Come on now. Dr. Shola Moss. Shogban Mimu.
God bless you.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
She got it right
I'm very proud of myself.
See, when you say an authentic African name, you have to say it with the right attitude. Because African names have character.
Yes.
They have power and personality, just like its owner. Well done, my darling. Say my name, say my name. This is an excellent award category. I'm so proud to be amongst you wonderful people. I finished feeding my face with some fish and chips and the rest.
It was nice.
Back to the category. There is no time as now when we must represent, and I don't just mean because of the color of our skin, but represent our true values. And as a political activist, I encourage every single one of you to use your voice, your votes, and your values to change the political scenario we currently have. Okay? But I'm not here to preach today. I'm here to celebrate. Okay, let's see who's the winner. Drum roll. Come on. Give me some drum roll. All we're missing is a proper Yoruba talking drum. All right, and the winner is, are we ready?
Yes.
Councillor Anna Roderick.
Oh, this lovely lady. Go on, girl. Woo! Shake it, girl. Oh, I love her. From Liverpool.
Well, what can I say? I mean, it's been a long time coming. As people may know or may not know, that Liverpool has got the oldest black community in the whole of
Yes,
Europe.
they have.
And I feel like I've been fighting for thousands of years for recognition for our people. But what you might not know is that I come from Toxteth in Liverpool, and born and bred, went into politics because I was so disillusioned with what was going on. And I fought tooth and nail. They tried to deselect me. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times. They've tried to wear me down. They've tried to run me out, but I ain't going nowhere.
Go, girl.
Because I'm here to stay until I can make sure that we have representation. For the first 6 years that I was a councillor, I was the only black councillor out of 92 people in the city. And now I'm ashamed to say I'm 1 of 5.
Wow.
And we've got to change that. And the only way we change that is as a collective. We stand together, we take our rightful place, and we make sure that we have the representation that we deserve. So thank you very much for this award.
Thank you, thank you.
Well done, Queen.
My mother, her mother, my grandmothers, and all the generations before me were not seen, were just seen and not heard. My female ancestors lived a different life to what I do now, and I'm very fortunate for that. And it could have easily been a part of a narrative that had Bangladeshi females fixated in a box with a label. I came with a voice, and that voice was only heard when I rebelled against everything what society wanted it to be. Sometimes I had to fight for my identity. What did I stand for? Who was I, and what was my purpose on this earth? Finding myself was the best ever gift I could have given myself. And I know it sounds weird. However, South Asian females, sometimes we're stereotyped to be submissive, meek, and somewhat obedient. I think I'm the polar opposite of that. I came with a belly full of passion and fire. And sometimes that too gets criticized. Am I trying to be something that I'm not? I'm the eldest out of 5 brothers and sisters. And without realizing it, I think I was slowly disrupting a poisonous narrative. Apparently, my love for fitness and boxing was described as defying the stereotypes of a Bangladeshi Muslim female. I don't think I even did that on purpose. I was just trying to be Nazia. Trying to figure out who I was without the noise around me, without being told who and what I should be.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so you heard all about the inspiring. Thankfully, things have moved on now. The Voice is not the only place where black journalists can go to cut their teeth. But I've stayed with The Voice because I write about the faith community. I love writing about the faith community. I feel it's my purpose and my mission. I feel that God has called me to do that. So I'm really honoured to be recognised for that. And I would say to anyone here, whatever it is that you do it with purpose, do it from a pure heart. Do it because you want to be a blessing, because you want to selflessly serve your community. And that's what I'm doing, and I love doing it, and I will continue doing it until God says you can stop.
Thank you. Woo!
Dress that I wore to the royal wedding. So it's been a great journey, and I have to thank God. I have to thank my family, my husband, and I even thank my son who came with me today because he's the one that contributes to my business. He takes all my pictures. He's the one. Oh, hi, Cam. And it's nice for him to be here today as a young man and to see his mum doing well so that he can also follow in the same footsteps. I think it's good to have our young people in these environments.
Yes.
You are in the House of Lords.
Yes.
But I just say thank you to everyone. There's so much more that I can say, but I just want to celebrate all the other BAME female pioneers, and I just thank you and say, you know what, I celebrate you and I congratulate you just to be able to dare to make a difference. Dare to make a difference in your community and in your sphere of influence. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I believe I've won this award tonight for one of the biggest things that I've done so far in my lifetime, apart from having children and getting married. But I styled the Kingdom Choir for the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Wow.
Excuse me. Wait. Let's rewind.
Woo! Say it again.
I styled the Kingdom Choir for the royal wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. But not only styled them, attended the wedding as well.
Well done. Oh my God.
Everyone's like shouting, screaming, so fantastic achievement. And what else have you done? And where is your career leading you right now that you have got a Baton award tonight?
Also, in 2017, I launched my own line in London. So that's been great. I took part in London Fashion Week last year. And this year, I've been working with Hire. And next year, I'm looking to do even more work. I really want to open up my own store. But that's more to come.
Wow. So there's a lot of things coming. You've clearly deserved the award. Have you looked inside yet? Not yet. Let's open it up. Let's have a look, see what it's about. It's a beautiful box, isn't it? Wow. So, it's an actual baton that they use in a relay. So, can you